And now to a little lighter fare. Do you guys want to have fun on Friday? Do you want to have a little fun? I know, that was depressing. So, last night, I innocently made a comment to MSNBC host Joy Reid. Joy Reid had she's another establishment corporate shill. I met her years ago. She was actually nice in person, so I don't know her. It's nothing personal. But as far as media, she's a propagandist. That's what she is. So as you could see in the interviews I've done, by the way, if you haven't seen it, I interviewed The Intercept's Glenn Greenwald yesterday. I've broken it up into several videos. I think most of them are up now on the channel, so you can go check that out. But Glenn Greenwald wrote a great story on how Tom Perez, DNC chair candidate, another establishment shill, had admitted on Twitter or something like that the DNC primary was rigged against Bernie Sanders. So credit to him for actually having some balls and speaking the truth. And of course, he was neutered after by the Democratic establishment, from politicians to media. What do you mean, Mr. Perez? Do you have proof of that? You're not supposed to tell the truth about what happened. This was all supposed to be like wink and a nod, you know? So Tom Perez tells the truth. Then he gets, killed by all the establishment, and then he walks it back on Twitter. I think he pinned to the top of his Twitter account that he didn't mean it. Sorry, folks. Just elect me. Give me your money. Give me your money. I want to be the DNC chair and change nothing. So Joy Reid, let me find the first tweet. Joy Reid, who again is an MSNBC host. I think she's a propagandist. She's also just very lazy in terms of facts. She is not the most prepared host I've ever seen. So Joy Reid said something like, what did she say here? Oh yeah. So she said something like, if you're going to say that, Tom Perez, can you please provide evidence? So I wrote to her, oh no, the establishment bear has been poked. How dare you tell the truth? So I kind of started with her. I like to start Twitter fights now and then. So then she got back to me. She said to me, let's see here. You throw the word truth around loosely for someone who has yet to offer one specific instance of rigging on which to base your pouting. So already she's condescending me. You're pouting. Oh, you Bernie bros, and you're pouting. You're pouting. So, that was too easy. She said I showed no proof, so I just said, all right, you want some proof? So I had some fun. I went on a little tweet storm. I'll read you a couple. So, number one, I said Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman and Barack Obama's chief of staff met several times during the primary. And the emails, they would not discuss anything through email. They just would set up where they're meeting. Well, why was Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, meeting with the White House chief of staff during the Democratic primary? Think they're meeting to talk about their kid's soccer game? That doesn't seem exactly fair. I'm pretty sure White House chief of staff was not meeting with Bernie Sanders' campaign manager. I'll have to reach out to Jeff Weaver, but I'll bet the house that wasn't happening. So that was number one. Number two, I said John Podesta calling White House to get legislation killed that would make Bernie Sanders look good during the primary. There was a GMO labeling bill that the Clinton campaign did not want going through, because it actually would have helped Bernie Sanders and made him look good. So John Podesta, in WikiLeaks, it shows he was on emails saying, all right, let me call the White House. No rigging going on at all. Number three, the neutral DNC pitching anti-Bernie Sanders stories to the media. Number four, Debbie Wasserman Schultz lying, and I said, so did you, Joy, on national TV that chairs were thrown in Nevada at the Nevada State Convention. That never happened, but they kept on pushing it on cable news and on MSNBC out of the mouth of Joy Reid. Number five, Debbie Wasserman Schultz desperately trying to stop more debates. Bury the ones that did exist at times no one would watch, like the Saturday night before Christmas. Number five, Hillary Clinton's campaign meeting with Barack Obama's administration, desperately trying to get Obama to endorse her before the Illinois primary. Maybe it kind of comes off like you're rigging the game when the current president and leader of the party is meeting with their preferred candidate. Is that normal practice? I can promise you Obama wasn't meeting with Bernie Sanders before the Illinois primary. Number 7, Hillary Clinton campaign blatantly breaking campaign super PAC coordination laws, and the White House and the DNC and the FEC not doing a damn thing. Number 8, DNC strategizing on how to make Bernie Sanders look like an atheist before the West Virginia primary. That came out in WikiLeaks, that they wanted to make him look like an atheist. This is the neutral, non-rigging DNC. Number 9, the DNC literally having strategy documents on how to boost Hillary Clinton to the media before other candidates were even announced. You know, she asked for proof. Obviously, I've got none. Number 10, W. Wasserman Schultz suspending Bernie Sanders' access to data before even investigating what happened. I'm sure she'd do the same for Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton's campaign had purposely or accidentally gotten access to Bernie Sanders' campaign, oh my God, Hillary Clinton's access would be shut down right away. Of course. Number 11, the media. I mean, the media was rigging everywhere. Joy's own colleague, Chuck Todd, literally had Hillary Clinton's communications chairwoman's, Jennifer Palmieri's, birthday party at his house during the primary. So this is Chuck Todd of Meet the Press having the communications director for Hillary Clinton's campaign, birthday party at his house. No conflict of interest there. No rigging. I guess I missed my invitation to Bernie Sanders' communications chairman's B-Day party at Chuck Todd's house. Number 12, Joy Reid's colleagues, Rachel Maddow, Chris Hardball Matthews, fluffing Hillary Clinton's pillows in interviews while raking Bernie Sanders over the coals when they interviewed him. Number 13, Donna Brazile, my friend Donna, I say Dirty Donna, tipping off Hillary Clinton to questions for debates in town halls. But Russia did it. Russia. Number 14, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager literally directing W. Wasserman Schultz on who to hire before Hillary Clinton even announced her candidacy. And then I told Joy, listen, I've already given you 14. My dog's barking. I got to take him out. Do you need any more? I mean, this was very pleasurable for me to do this because it's like, number one, Joy Reid, CNN, they did not dig into WikiLeaks. It was very clear they didn't. The ones that, the WikiLeaks emails that they did reference were all, kind of surfacey stuff. Didn't actually spotlight corruption because they didn't want to feature the emails that spotlighted corruption, and they didn't want to find them. They only talked about nonsense emails that might have been more embarrassing than corrupt in nature. You think Joy Reid did what I did and literally read thousands of emails? Do you think Joy Reid did what I did and tweet out about these emails or did videos on them? Of course she didn't, because she's not a journalist. She's a propagandist. So Joy, in her condescending way, got back to me saying, I realize your dog has to pee and your fans are all excited about your snark, but how did any of this cause Sanders to lose? Oh, so now what she was doing was changing the goalpost. So at first it was just show me proof that the primary was rigged. Now it's show me how any of this caused Bernie Sanders to lose. So I pointed out, now you're moving the goalpost to did it make him lose rather than was the process skewed against him. I said, you're a slippery one. Then she says, what you're doing with your little tirade, because I'm a little child on a tirade, which is adorable, by the way, she says, is show how the DNC was biased towards Clinton. Yes, it was. I responded, the Young Turks journalist offers journalism to MSNBC anchor. Her response, tirade! Then she says, do black voters and registered Dem votes based on what the DNC wants? No. Sanders failed to win African Americans and registered Democrats. Good point. That's true. So I said, number one, weak sauce not to reply to the proof you asked for. Number two, I've never once said Bernie Sanders would have 100% won. That's not the point. So it's not the point. I can't tell you 100% that Bernie Sanders would have won if none of these things happened. None of us know. And if you say you do, that's passion talking. I'm not going to be disingenuous. I think it would have been a hell of a lot closer. But it's not the point whether he would have won or not. It's that it's not right. It is corrupt. it shows the toxicity of money in politics that control our government and our campaigns. So I said to her, the point is people like you arrogantly and deceptively attacked Stack Deck versus an actual progressive, then demanded his supporters bow. She said, no, Sanders failed to win African Americans and registered Dems or to make them more open to non-Democrats becoming the Democratic nominee, which is unrealistic. There she goes again with her favorite talking point. He's not even a journalist. He's not even a Democrat. Well, I said, your favorite talking point, but he's not a Democrat. Seems like your Democrat pals really want this non-Democrats email list. So he's not a Democrat, and we should point that out when we're trying to make sure he doesn't win the primary. But when he's out of the primary and there's no electoral shot, let's get that email list. We know we need him. The hypocrisy is astounding. Astounding. She said, or to make them, I said, Joy, I don't know you. Sure, you're lovely. But in response to facts, you feebly defected with no real substance. And this was the best part. I might just keep this forever. She says, and you're an angry little Power Ranger. I'm an angry little Power Ranger. Anything else? Because I have my column to finish and you've stopped being entertaining. You know what? In fairness to the Power Rangers, I was more of a Ninja Turtles kind of guy. Power Rangers are okay, but I like Ninja Turtles. But this MSNBC idiot, because that's what she is, called me out. I clobbered her over the head, as humbly as I could say. And in response, because she has nothing else to say, she said, but he's not a Democrat. I know, your little tirade. You're not entertaining anymore. Oh, you little Power Ranger. I said, I finished, for the record, if you provide overwhelming facts to a corporate journalist, you're a no good Power Ranger. Well, you know what? If that's what I am, then I am a Power Ranger, baby. But I think what this shows, because my goal in life is not to continually recount what happened in the Democratic primary. At some point, we're going to have to move forward. I've reported endlessly about the DNC primary. It wasn't right, and it was my job as a journalist to show you what was actually going on. And where appropriate, I'm going to remind people what went on. But this isn't really about the DNC primary. This is about right now. And right now, you have journalists like Joy Reid, who are not really journalists. They just put makeup on, read from a teleprompter, recite talking points, and help lift up their corporate parents and powerful interests. Right now, these people who were so wrong about pretty much every single thing in the election, they, after the fact, are still attacking the people who were right and who had the pulse of the country, like the Young Turks, who they're still being booked on TV and writing columns and being heralded as experts in this endless circle jerk that is the corporate media industrial complex. Usually, in America, if you have a job and you're constantly wrong, and you're so wrong that it results in really catastrophic results, like the current president, usually you're fired. That's usually what happens. Now, I'm not someone who casually calls for people to be fired. I hope everybody has a job, even people I might not like. So this isn't about Joy Reid. You keep your job. I don't care. But this person has no knowledge, and she also has no moral compass. I don't know her, so maybe personally I don't know. I'm sure she's a good person and good to her friends and her family. That's fine. I don't wish any ill will to Joy Reid or any other corporate stooge. Well, maybe one or two. But it's so disingenuous because people like Joy Reid just literally suppress not just Bernie Sanders, but they try to suppress the progressive movement that is currently exploding in this country. It is exploding in this country. Might have not won electorally yet on a national level, but we are seeing wins. We are seeing Seattle divest from Wells Fargo. We are seeing the Women's March and marches at airports. Those are progressive movements. Those are progressive values. They're diverse. Those are not the corporate democratic establishment running these movements. So the bottom line is, I'm going to continue to verbally, not physically, attack corporate stooges because unfortunately they still have a giant microphone. And you know what? As a reporter, sometimes I am incorrect. When I am incorrect, I just correct it because nobody's perfect. Most digital journalists are going a mile a minute nowadays. But she is a stooge. She is incorrect on almost everything. And in response to being incorrect, she has the audacity to call me, I can't even say it, it's so ridiculous, a Power Ranger. Well, you know what? This Power Ranger is proud to serve. Maybe I'll watch it with my nephew sometime soon.